Hi everyone, Quiveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. In today's video, we are going to look at a couple of comets. Hopefully, as the sun goes down over in the west, we are looking at the sky side here for the 12th of October. But there it is, Comet C 2023-A3. So if we zoom in a little bit here, very, very close to the sunset. So of course, never point your telescope at anything that's too close to the sun. This is our view from the countryside, so we are seeing a few stars here, but this would still be quite bright, especially if you're in the city. So yeah, C 2023. So this comet was discovered in 2023, and it's there as Tsunchinshan-ATLAS. Atlas discovers a lot of comets, and we can find another comet that Atlas discovered this year, not visible, unfortunately. So we'll deal with this one first because there is only so much I will be able to say, and it is stuff that isn't really relevant to Ireland. So let's come back up into daytime here. Atlas isn't one thing. Atlas is a group of telescopes that are all scanning the sky. It is the Asteroid Terrestrial-impact Last Alert system, which honestly sounds a lot scarier than it is. The Atlas system, well, there we can see C 2023's tail. Let's start moving through time here so we can get the other, there we go. Coming up, looping around the sun, going around the other side of the sun again. So let's watch that as it happens. Here is our Comet C 2023 S1 Atlas, and we'll move through time nice and fast. There it is, going around the sun. Well, nearly going around the sun. We can see it's quite bright there, and then looping around the sun, flying off into space again. So unfortunately, from our perspective here in Ireland, we're not going to be able to see that. And we can see it there during the day, but we can see the angle at which this comet is coming up to interact with the sun. It's going to put it mostly below our horizon. So for us, this comet, C 2024 S1 Atlas, it's not going to be really visible to us in the northern hemisphere at all, unlike C 2023 A3. If we go forward all the way to morning time, which there's some strange wiggling going on here, in fact, going backwards to morning time might make more sense. We can see that the angle at which it's coming up above the sun here is quite steep. And if we were to move back, we can see that it's even steeper there on the lower limb. So I have an odd feeling this is going to be below the horizon for us here in Ireland, even at morning time. Yeah, not getting to see it. So we'll come around here, get the comet to come out the other side of its orbit. There it is in the morning in November. Really, really close to the sunrise. So it looks like we might catch it a little bit in the morning, but the angle here is quite steep. You're going to have a much better chance of seeing it as it's leaving the solar system, if you're closer to the equator, and as it's coming in towards its perihelion, its closest approach to the sun. You'll have a better chance of seeing that if you're in the southern hemisphere. That is one of the comets that the Asteroid Terrestrial-impact Last Alert system of telescopes has spotted 2024, and that it spotted in 2023. Now, this is a non-periodic comet. I mentioned before that a lot of comets have long periods, so depending on how long your life is, and depending on how young you are when you see these things, some comets are once in a lifetime. This comet, this comet is once in its lifetime. There is a good chance that thanks to perturbations, influence from the gravity of other planets, as this comet leaves the solar system this time, it might get ejected. It might get thrown out of our solar system altogether. This one isn't coming back, but you can see it. Here we are later in October with the naked eye. I'll get rid of the names here just to prove it. And you can see there's a dot with a tail. It's got that tail, that classic signifier of a comet. Now, this comet has already, on the date of recording, come around the sun. There it is. Now, that's through a big telescope. Let's go through all of our oculars until we get to a binoculars. That's a gigantic binoculars. Let's go with a small binoculars. Where is the... There we go. The Zeiss. That's one of the bigger Zeisses. There's one of the smaller Zeisses. And look at that. You can see the tail, you can see the comet with a small pair of binoculars at sunset, and that from the countryside. So of course, not all of us are so lucky as to be under dark skies, free from light pollution. Let's move it back up to roughly what I'd see from Cork. If you're from a bigger city, I apologize, but still, it's very faint. But there is a tail, and again, that's with the smallest of binoculars, going up to. Let's go. That's a C8. That's still pretty big. Let's go with something smaller. We'll get pretty much no oculars, no extra lenses, no Barlow lenses, and there it is. There is the comet, nice and clear and visible. And because even from the city, you can just about see that faint dot there with the naked eye. What magnitude are we getting here? 4. Lovely. That's nice and easy to see. So there's a comet visible with the naked eye that I am definitely comfortable telling you to look out for, because it's already, even if we start moving back here, I believe that on the date of recording, it has already performed its perihelion. It's already gone as close to the sun as it's going to get. Comets that get very close to the sun are often called sun grazers, and some sun grazers are part of a specific group. Comets that get too close to the sun can be ripped apart by the sun's gravity. There are a particular group of comets that get very close to the sun called sun grazers, but it is believed that they actually are the remains of a comet that already got too close to the sun and broke apart. We can see here that this comet, 23A3, at its closest approach to the sun, still, 75 million kilometers there. It's still half an AU away from the sun. So it's, between us and the sun there. A little bit closer to us. Looks like it's on our side there, passing on the near side of the sun. And there it is, a few days ago, when, again, it would have been very hard to see from Ireland. You would have had to look at it in the morning time or be in the southern hemisphere. We can see it there in the evening time, visible. Well, there we go. It would probably be a bit too close to the sun there on the 13th. From at least the 14th, we can see there all the way through, still visible as a dot as long as everything's nice and dark through to the 27th. I have an odd feeling by Halloween it's going to be too faint to see with the naked eye. Let's double check. The comet that was discovered in 2024, the C2024-S1 also discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial-impact last alert system of telescopes, that hasn't yet passed perihelion, and it is going to get very close to the sun. So there is the possibility that it could get ripped apart by the sun. We might get to see it on its way in, and it might be destroyed by the time it's leaving again. That 6 point, nearly 7, that's, I guess if I say that Uranus isn't visible to the naked eye, I should be saying that this comet isn't visible to the naked eye if it's that faint. But, maybe. It would be tough to spot it out from the fainter stars, if you're in the countryside. But just a little bit earlier, and there we go. So much brighter, even a little bit of a tail visible there, even with the glow of sunset. So, just before finishing up with these comets, we are going to head back out to the Solar System Observer. I know I seem to be making a habit of this in recent videos, going out of the solar system and looking back. Of course, it's a very interesting perspective and not one. Let's head out to the Solar System Observer as promised, and hopefully the orbits of these comets will be traced. So first off, let's get the one that we're going to be able to see. I'm not seeing the orbit getting traced here, but that's okay. Let's come back a little bit closer to today's date. Oh, that's indefinitely in the past. So not very, of course, the names of the planets, that would help a little bit more recognizable. So there is Venus, there's the Earth. So we can see there the comet is between us and the Earth, and it's going to go out of the solar system in that direction. So it came in, orbited the sun, there's its orbit, and okay, from this position in the past, the comet came into the inner solar system, came around the sun. You can see it's closer to the sun there than Mercury, so pretty close, and then almost as far away from the sun as Venus gets, and then out of the solar system. And there we go, around there, if I can get it, yeah, it is now further from the sun than the Earth is, so that is almost next year at the very end of December. So we can see that comet making it kind of normal comet shaped, hyperbolic in this case trajectory. So a parabolic trajectory is a normal, very, very tight ellipse. A hyperbolic trajectory, that's one that indicates that the comet might actually get thrown out of our solar system altogether, and that is a possibility. So we can see that comet there making a pretty close approach to the Earth, but of course this isn't showing these things in 3D. We can see there it's having an incredibly close pass to the Sun. So this comet is coming in really, really close to the Sun and then whipping back out again. And that kind of very, very close approach is dangerous for a comet. You know, it's dangerous to get too close to the Sun. The Sun can absolutely rip things apart. Now, just in case this isn't showing the orbits because of a mistake that I made by deselecting them at the wrong time, indeed, it is. So there we go. There's the orbit, and we can see that it is incredibly, incredibly elliptical and terminating way out there. So we can see that it is getting kind of close to the Earth. And if we come back around this way, it should seem to get pretty close to the Earth, or at least its orbit will take it past the Earth. So there we go. On the 7th of the 12th, it looks almost in line with the Earth from this perspective. And indeed, it may be far below the plane of the ecliptic underneath the Earth. Let us very quickly double check. We'll stick with this date, far forward in December, coming back to the Earth, wherever it's gone. Don't need to do that. Return to default location. I always forget. Here we are back on Earth, back in Ireland. I'm not too worried about whether or not this is actually going to be visible to us here in Ireland. So let's just get rid of all those details. But we can see here, yeah, even though it looks like it's almost right next to the Earth from above, in actuality, yeah, the plane of the ecliptic, almost as far from we are as we are from the Sun. So with these things like comets in particular, because their orbits can be so highly inclined, it's really hard to figure out where they're going to be or what they're going to look like without taking that kind of three-dimensional perspective. So even though that comet 2024 S1 discovered by Atlas, which means Atlas was doing its job, you know, looking for things that are going to come close to the Earth and giving us a warning before they get too close. That's the job of the Atlas group of telescopes. Even though the comet 2024 S1 might not be visible, here we are, comet A3. We'll even go back a couple of days. There it is, just above the sunset. So I hope you enjoyed this little video about some of the upcoming comets and how strangely they move through the sky. If you did enjoy this video, please do like it. And if you'd like to read some of this information, you can head to my website, quebeanscontent.ie, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.